How have you guys been?
I've been good, but I'm thinking that there was a meme that I saw the other day that had another name for a joint that I thought was hilarious, and now I cannot remember what it is, and it's driving me nuts. It was not a doink, I don't think.
Smoking doinks out here in Amish?
Oh, what was it? It's killing me because I read it and I was like, this is fucking incredible. Anyway.
One of the original memes on joints would be a fatty boom batty blunt. Is that what?
Fatty boom batty blunt.
Right? Wasn't it? What the fuck?
God damn it. What? So
we need to have... Yo, you know what we should do? I'm saying it. This week we have a special guest. It's Kevin Smith reprising his role as Silent Bob. So big get for us. We're paying by the minute because Kevin Smith... famous in nerd culture, nerd culture icon, does not come cheap for stuff like this. So
Silent Bob, what's your experience with Final Fantasy IV? Fascinating.
Amazing.
Okay, so this is really embarrassing, but I also booked a guest, and it's Teller from Penn and Teller.
Oh no!
We have Silent Bob and Teller on the podcast.
Here's the thing, though. That is just putting more work on yourself because, you know, there's a little bit of crosstalk that happens when we do this, and then you have to line everything up. So for listeners of the show, me and Curtis refuse to ever let one another speak, and we're just constantly speaking over each other.
I do not like when Carl's, but yeah.
Through the magic
I hate it. I hate it when he talks.
Through the magic
every
of
time he starts,
Alex
I feel like I have to start as
you
well.
will never know.
It doesn't work.
So we're back.
We took a vacation.
And better than ever.
We are. I'm feeling strong and vigorous.
Well, to the listeners, they'll have heard
and fertile.
The break will have already happened, but we are back from break.
Yeah. I am. Oh yeah, that's right. Shit. That makes sense. Curtis, what you were just saying, you're feeling strong and all that. I'm gonna
fertile. Yes.
I'm gonna quote our friend Dave from the Daycare Dittos podcast, which something that he said in one of our work chats recently to everyone on my team, where he's saying, you know, he used to be young and virile, and then one of my coworkers looked up what virile means, and let's see, virile, having strength, energy, and a strong sex drive, typically used of a man. So not the word he meant to say in the chat and was immediately called on it. And we were all laughing.
I don't know. That seems like something that Dave would mean to say.
Yeah, he might have meant to say it actually, but my coworkers made it weird.
Sad to know that he isn't virile anymore. I'm sorry, Dave. This one goes out to Dave's waning libido. This one's for you, buddy.
It's because he read all 64 original Goosebumps books. And
that would do it to anyone. So, what are we doing this week?
That's R.L. Stein's way of sapping the strength of the young, so he stays. So now R.L. Stein is super virile because of Dave exclusively. Yeah, what are we doing today? Other than going off the rails immediately, because it's been a little while since we've recorded last.
Indeed. Well, we just quote unquote did the extra sections, but I guess we may be doing a little bit of revisiting.
We kind of stuck our foot in some of these sections and finished one of them.
We did 3/4 of most of the side quests.
Yeah, we did 3 or 4 side quests and did not finish 3 of them. Most of them. So
we got some new Aeons or Eidolons.
Yeah. This week, I think the first thing we have to do is go back to the Dwarf King and explain what happened to those 7 crystals we were supposed to get in the Tower of Babel.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for throwing your army, at the brunt of the forces of the Tower of Babel.
Sorry for the casualties and everything. Yeah. But actually, there is a scene there, right? When we go back and Cecil comes in and he's like, "Hey, we didn't get those crystals. Oops." And the king is real chill with us. He's like, "Oh, well, shucks, that kind of sucks, doesn't it?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, yeah, it does." Which, out of curiosity, did either of you try to go to the sealed cave before this scene?
No.
I did. I tried to go there beforehand.
I cannot remember because I did this when we were doing the side quests, and I forget specifically. I feel like I did something and tried it before doing the thing that you needed to do, but I could be completely wrong. So I refresh my memory.
Well, if we go there and try to open the door, it says, you must hold the key aloft to open this door. And I was like, I don't have a key. I have a rat tail, but I have no key. So yeah, we got to go back to the king.
You were holding a loft, and you were holding it key-like. I don't know.
Holding it keywords. But yeah, the king is basically like, all right, that means that Golbez is trying to get the last dark crystal. He's going to try to force his way into the sealed cave. And, since you guys have repeatedly failed to stop Golbez every single time and have not been able to accomplish anything, I'm going to give you the key to the sealed cave to go get it, because that makes sense. So as far as I'm concerned, this is as much his fault as it is ours.
Yeah,
and we've already done this before, right? We've already been given keys to open a certain passageway.
Yeah,
that's what I was gonna say. I was like, it's like one of those things like, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I don't know what iteration of that we're at, because we've pretty much only made Golbez's job way easier for him throughout the course of the entire game.
Yeah, but word doesn't travel around that far to the underworld.
True.
They don't know to what extent we fucked up on the overworld.
Yeah.
Although
fresh start, and we still fucked it up.
Would it be implied that the dwarves can even get to the sealed cave, because they don't know what airships are, and when we stole an airship, it couldn't go over the lava?
They probably have boats that we don't know about.
Yeah, I would assume they had some means of conveyance across.
Or they're like Gorons and just love wading through lava.
Yeah.
Maybe they just have a catapult or trebuchet that they just sit in and whip themselves across the ocean.
Yeah, the password to get launched by that catapult is Armand Tanzarian.
Send them back to mama, boys. Or no, wait. that was Rex's banner or whatever. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, he gives us the necklace of his daughter, the little girl who had the puppets before, and says this is the key. So her necklace is actually the key to the sealed cave. And then he sends us on our way to go to the sealed cave to succeed, like we have so many times before.
Yeah, exactly. Probably not another bait car situation here.
I can see Carl Googling,
ferociously. I made a Simpsons reference, but I was conflating it with the one that was the actual thing that Curtis pointed out. So I was just checking. I was like, fuck.
Well, both of them got rode out of town, so...
Yeah, well, I think Armand Tanzarian was under penalty of death, whereas breaking prohibition in Springfield was by catapult.
That's right, yeah. Yeah, so off to the sealed cave we go, which is in the, what would you say, the southwest?
It's just around the corner from one of those towns that we went to, right?
It's in the Nevada area of the...
Tamra. It's like north of Tamra.
Yeah. Which I stopped there again, and I refilled up on arrows and armor and stuff like that, and so I was all geared out and decked out for this section. So, how y'all feel about doors? Y'all like doors? The doors?
This door be wild.
When is a door not a door?
If it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck and smells like a duck.
When is a door not a door? Two possible answers to this. One, when it's ajar. Two, when it's a fucking monster that is very difficult to fight.
So, we get there, we hold the key aloft, and we are allowed inside. So every door in this entire fucking place is a trap door, which, after the first one, I was like, I don't know if this is like a trap door necessarily, because I feel like a trap door implies a surprise, and if all of them are trap doors, then that's just a door at that
That's
point.
the true trap. That's like the meta trap, where it's like you're expecting maybe one of them to not be a trap. But then sure enough, it just always fucking is. Because that's how I was for a lot of it. I was like, oh, okay, this actually has a pretty interesting gimmick where one door is correct and one is not.
Yeah.
So I'll do, and it's like, I mean, it kind of has that a little bit, but basically every single
Except
door.
that none of the doors are right.
Yeah, every single door in this cave is a monster encounter.
Yeah, which I love.
Except for the first one, though, right?
The very first one that you open with the key is not.
Correct.
It just makes everything a noxious green, and then it's open.
Yeah. So these door fights, right? They are kind of interesting. They can go a couple different ways.
So this is actually what the I forget the name of the guy we fought in the director's room last episode. He basically was a trapdoor doing the sex riddle.
Oh yeah,
right,
the sex riddle guy.
He was a trapdoor.
Old Mr.
Sex Cauldron. I thought they closed that place down.
Yeah, so these battles are like pretty interesting. I kind of like them. They have a couple mechanics to them, right? The first one is that the trapdoor always starts out the battle with the command search. I don't know if it's called the same thing in the 3D version, but which spoiler alert, I did not play the 3D version this time. I just played the 2D version and got through it.
How fucking dare you? How dare you lie to our dear sweet listeners by saying you were going to play at least 2 versions of the game and then only play 1? And I can't imagine anyone else ever doing that. And astute listeners of the show may remember that I was playing the Super Nintendo version and then promptly stopped talking about the Super Nintendo version because I ran out of time to do both in a week. So out of curiosity's sake, I went to my screenshots to see the last time I played it. And where that playthrough died is Cecil. The last screenshot I have is Cecil standing in the middle of a desert that just says, "Guess I'm ... alone." So this
wow.
So he
okay.
thinks like everyone's dead. He's right outside of
still a Dark
the
Knight.
city. Yeah, still a Dark Knight. So that's where that is going to be forever.
Alex just put something in the Discord chat. A very cartoony drawing.
This is Amano's art.
This is Amano's art of the trapdoor.
Oh my god, that's so good.
It looks like something I would have drawn in high school.
I love it.
I would love to have a trapper keeper of this trapdoor because that's what it looks like to me. It's so cute.
It also like
Put my social studies homework in there, you know?
the handle.
In its, or is it a handle?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think it's the handle that's kind of popping off the side. It has like a little face on it. It's very cute.
Oh yeah, I guess that's like the doorknob or whatever.
It's very goopy.
Yeah, that's good as hell.
Amano, what a freak. Come on the podcast.
God, that would be so awesome.
Also known as assault door.
Assault door. You can tell it's an assault door if it fires a bullet per. Actually, I have no idea. That could have been a joke, but I don't know enough about guns to make it good. So, anyway, so yeah, it starts out with the attack search, which does nothing on its first try, but basically it tells you who it's going to attack on its next turn, right?
Yeah.
Oh.
And the next turn it always uses something in my game called Ninth Dimension.
Yeah.
Yeah, which just instantaneously kills whoever he's pointing at.
Sending you to the 9th dimension.
Were any of you able to get around Ninth Dimension ever?
I think I might have either tried. I can't remember if I had any success with it, but just jump.
2 ways to do it. Jumping is one of them.
Yeah, jump with Kane. I was always hoping it would go for Kane, but he would usually be like Rosa, and I'm like, well, guess I'm using a fucking Phoenix down now.
They attacked Cecil every fucking time, and it was super annoying. But you can either do that, or if you're really fast, if you're able to like get her turn quickly, you can actually reflect the spell. And so you can actually put reflect on somebody and then have him 9th dimension himself and 1-hit KO win the battle.
That's sick. I didn't realize that.
But I could not do it because like the turns came around so fast and I was playing on active. So like I was never able to get the spell off. So
Yeah,
a couple times I tried.
He's pretty
but
quick. He's pretty
pretty
quick. With it.
quick.
Or it could be a thing too where maybe it's like an ATB situation like Kane or Yang have when they cast it, and then it has a quicker meter that fills up to actually send it off.
I'm seeing another technique is also to like cast Berserk on the trapdoor, because then it will not be able to use
that would have been the fucking way, wouldn't it?
9th dimension, because then it will only do like 1,000 damage per attack, but it will only be doing regular attacks instead of 9th dimension.
Nice.
I see. 1,000's still quite a bit. But yeah.
At least it's predictable.
Yeah. So after it does 9th dimension, it has, as far as I can tell, one of 2 scripts that it'll go into for its 3rd turn. It will either start over and cast search again, which only happened to me like twice out of all like 15 doors in this place. Or it will transform into a monster, like a different monster, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like
it's kind of I guess my interpretation of it is that it doesn't say something like watch out or like
does it say watch out?
I can't remember what it says, but it says something and then a monster appears. So I kind of took it as it opening and behind it was like another monster, and then that, you know, it gets rid of itself but ambushes you with a different monster. It's
like the Monty Hall problem. You always have to switch trapdoors to make sure you get the prize. Don't worry about it.
That was completely over my head.
Anybody
I got
who
a yellow dragon.
Anybody in the chat in the listeners who are like, oh my god, I know what the Monty Hall problem is, like they're freaking out right now. But
see, when I hear the words Monty and door, I immediately go to Three Stooges syndrome with Mr. Burns.
Do I know what that is? Which one's that?
It's when he's got so many diseases that it's like what they call the Three Stooges thing, where they're all just stuck in the door. And he's like, so I'm invincible. No, actually, the slightest thing. So I'm invincible.
Move it, you child ahead. Anyway, yeah, it'll either turn into a manticore or a yellow dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And the yellow dragon, as far as I could find, is much more dangerous than the manticore. At least was for me.
Much scarier. Like I saw that and I was like, fuck, just go. Like try and you can't run. It's important to mention that you can't run from these battles.
You can't.
Very similar to a monster in a box fight.
I will say I stocked up on items before I came down here. Like I actually like bought a ton of high potions and a ton of Phoenix Downs. And I think I was in like the single digits of those items by the time I left. Like you should buy lots and lots of those things before you come in here.
Yeah, we're getting closer and closer to Final Fantasy 1 territory with a lot of these caves in the underworld.
Actually, I would say, now that I'm thinking about it, a lot of people say that there is a difficulty spike at the end of FF4. And I would say this is the beginning of that spike. It's still not bad right now. Like, it's still decently easy. But starting with the next dungeon and, like, onward, the game takes a bit of a turn as far as challenge goes.
Yeah, so look out and look forward to that.
Yeah, enjoy. So the manticore is not that big of a deal. I found you just kind of pound them down. And I wouldn't, and the thing is, you can kill the trapdoor before it turns into a monster. If you're like 3 attackers all live through the 9th dimension thing, like if you have like Kane, Edge, and Cecil all alive, like none of them got searched or whatever, then you can beat him before he changes. But that just never fucking happened for me, except for like once. And I was just like, God damn it.
I tried to beat the door as I did it a couple of times. I tried to do it like each time so I didn't have to fight a different monster, but it was pretty difficult. Like,
yeah,
I don't know. I'm sure if you had higher levels, it's more easy to pull off. But it was kind of a thing where I'm like, okay, well, I might have been like 1 turn too slow or something, or I didn't optimize my moves. Because you can kind of force it a little bit by just letting him continually search before he hits whatever threshold it is for him to change. Because I feel like in my version it was definitely an HP thing where after you deal a certain amount of HP, then he opens up as the monster.
It could be so. Yeah, maybe so. I actually didn't notice that. But I wasn't looking for it. You might be right. What else was I going to say? Oh yeah, I will say the one thing about doing the side quest last time though is that we do have Leviathan now, and Leviathan will just wreck fucking shop on anything down here. Like,
I feel like just pretty much anything in general.
Yeah. Like it does a lot of damage. I think like when I cast it, it would do almost 4,000 damage to everything on screen.
How much does that summon cost for you? I think it was like 50 MP. Yeah. Which like Rydia right now only has like 150, so you only get 3 charges.
What? Really? And
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm reading about the Monty Hall problem. It's a bunch of math.
Basic. Okay. Curtis's Corner. Are you ready?
Curtis's Corner.
Play some educational music here. No, that's the Simpsons.
Just play the.
That's crazy films.
So, yeah. The Monty Hall problem is a problem that it's from a game show called Monty Hall, and
Monty Hall and his various problems.
Monty Hall and Oates, and
it's based on the Let's Make a Deal. Which
Let's Make a Deal. I'm sorry. He's the host of Let's Make a Deal. My mistake. So there's 3 doors, and the idea would be that he would be like, hey, behind two of these doors, there's no prize. And behind one of the doors, there is a prize. Guess which door it's in, right? And so you'll pick a door, and then he'll be like, okay, well, let me open one of the other doors. And he always opens a door that does not have a prize in it. And he goes, do you want to stick with your original choice or pick the other door that's still closed? And so the question is, what's the likelihood that the prize is behind the door that you haven't chosen? And the answer is 2/3. So like it seems like it'd be half because there's two closed doors and you can pick one or pick the other, and that would be an even split.
Oh,
but actually there's a 2/3 chance that it's in the one that you haven't picked. So you should always switch. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
No, I really like that's pretty cool.
So then behind two of them is a manticore. And behind one of them is just another round of search.
Yeah, Monty Hall, you can ask him a question and he will only tell the truth, but Monty Oates will only tell lies, and you have to figure out which.
That's deep in the woods. So you have to have like multiple levels of like knowledge to like parse that. Love it.
I feel like that's just the more and more deep into this podcast we get, the more and more that just becomes the way. It's like the 2021 Simpsons memes now is just like deep cut jokes, but like 2 or 3 of them just mashed together.
Yeah.
So like I saw one the other day where it was like, well, there's nothing to fear, Bart, except for that gas that takes us back to Winnipeg. It's getting through. And then all of their faces just turn into the guy who's like, that's it, we're back to Winnipeg. God, what a fucking mess.
That's so fucking good.
Every day we stray further from the Lord's light.
Okay, anyway. So the only other thing I have to say about the trapdoors is that they give a fuckload of experience. I think with all of your party members alive, they give like 7,500 or something like that. It's insane. It's great.
And there's like a lot. There's like 15 doors in this place.
Yeah. So you'll be doing some leveling. Actually, I don't remember right off if Rosa completely maxes out her white magic menu, but there's only space for 2 more spells in my game.
Oh, damn.
So, like in here, I learned Curaja, or Cure 4. And Rydia finally started learning the Aga spells, which is like way late, actually. I was surprised how late Rydia learns the Aga spells.
Yeah, especially because it's like, I feel like with those spells, like you already have summons that can pretty much do all of those elemental things, so not really necessary.
I guess they're cheaper, so I can cast more of them maybe.
That is true, yeah.
Yeah. Either way, ton of experience with those guys. Every fucking battle had to heal somebody from death on those guys because I was never able to get away with not having somebody die. So my resources were running low as I was going through the cave. If you don't buy enough stuff, it may take you 2 trips.
Yeah,
Can you
and
warp from trapdoor fights, do you know?
I don't know.
I don't know if you can warp from the fights themselves. You can warp from this cave, though.
For now.
Yes. I bring that up because of something that Curtis might want to talk about. I'm wondering, are you aware of the sealed cave glitch?
No.
Yeah, so it's actually a way that you can just skip this entire dungeon.
What?
Yeah, so
Damn,
I'm just gonna
that.
read. I'm gonna read here from. You should do this in the 3D version if you get to it. Actually,
Can
it
I
might
do it
not
in
be.
3D?
I don't think you can.
Okay.
Yeah, it's only in the Super Nintendo and the PlayStation versions of Final Fantasy IV. I'm just gonna read right off the fandom here because I don't really know. I didn't know this until just looking into it for this episode. But in order to perform this glitch, after Rydia has rejoined as an adult after defeating Golbez, and after talking to King Giott, if Rydia casts the warp spell, the player will be returned back to the crystal room from which the player can pick up the darkness crystal and leave the room back to the throne room. When the player arrives at the sealed cavern, the event will play as though the player had already obtained the crystal from the dungeon.
Wow.
However, if the player wishes to get any of the treasure in the dungeon, they have to go through it normally.
Well, let's talk about the treasure in the dungeon too.
Yeah, exactly.
That's awesome though. I did not know that. That is wild.
It's a nice little sequence break.
I suppose the trap, though, for most of these trapdoors that are in this place are that the vast majority of rooms in the cave are just empty, like 6x6 rooms, right?
Yeah, so they don't have any treasure in it, which
The vast
like,
majority.
Not to be all like, oh, the treasure was the friends we made along the way, but like the treasure in these fights is the experiences that we fucking made. It's the experience that we had. Like those fights are worth it just for that. Even if I got through this all with like guessing perfectly each time, like which is just improbable. I probably still would have fought all of them because the experience is just too good to pass up.
I mean, the
fights aren't that hard. And like the nice thing about this too is like you can kind of just make your way back to the world map fairly easily and just like use a cottage or something outside. So
there's a room. It's like it's like the second or third room has like 8 or 9 doors along the top edge of it. And I think like only one of them actually has anything in it. Or no, wait.
I think actually
2 of them, because one of them has a save point.
Yeah.
Also, the cruelty to hide the fucking save point in one of those.
I love it though.
But there is something very important in one of them.
Okay, so hold on. I'm looking at it right here. Save point. It looks like 2 of them have items in it, and one of them has the save point, but the rest of them are pretty useless.
One of them is a sword. What's the other one?
Is it the ninja helm or the dark hood or black hood?
This map I'm looking at, GameFAQs, has very vague like item descriptions. It did not match the 3D version. But then the center one, they label it as 7. It has like 3 items in it as well. Which that one has like the Fuma, which I guess is like
the Fuma.
Weapon.
That's what I got. Yeah. It's a more powerful shuriken.
Oh yeah, that thing kicks ass.
Yeah.
Actually threw that at our boss coming up.
Yo, woof. Okay. Anyway, and I believe the other one is the light sword, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, interesting thing about the light sword that I noticed in this section. So I equipped the light sword over the Avenger, and it had more attack power. Like my stats showed that my attack went up, and then in battle my damage went down. And I was like, huh. Because I think that maybe using the Avenger forces you to two-hand it, and two-handing does more damage. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure how it works.
Yeah, that's interesting.
But I was able to equip a shield with this one at least, so.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. Like, that's a good enough reason as any, like...
Sure, right.
That tracks with, like, I think, like, D&D ruling, right?
Probably.
And by D&D ruling, I mean my version of it, which is just Dark Souls.
Dunkin' Donuts.
Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, the other thing about these trapdoors that I really like is the very cute animation that plays every time you interact with one.
They didn't do it on mine.
Oh, really? Yeah,
on mine you just press A and you're just in the battle.
It just grows a goofy little scary face.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, it's
that's
super
way better
cute.
than in the 3D one. It's just you just get a prompt that says, "That's no door, it's a monster."
It's a space station.
Like, it's funny that like it's the same dialogue for every single one of them.
That is a cute little face.
Like the first one,
that.
I was like, and then I was like, oh, it's just all of them. And like 3 in, I was like, okay, so that's every door that I have to open then. And like every time Cecil says the exact same thing.
And then I guess there are other enemies in these caves too, right?
There's Chimera Brian again.
Chimera Brian.
We've met him from 10.
There's the caked up vampire.
Oh yeah.
Caked up vampire. There's Nagas.
There's
bats galore.
Indeed. The bats who show up with the caked up vampires.
Mm-hmm.
In sets of 6. And then they all use vampire in a row. And so you have to sit there for like 30, 40 seconds. Waiting
yeah,
Blood
it
Feast.
sucks. Blood Feast or Bloodthirst or whatever it is.
And Medusas or whatever.
Yeah, there are Medusas. Medusa.
This place nasty.
This place nasty, homie.
Yeah, I think the Medusas I think are called lesser Mariliths as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's another FF1 reference. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Damn, there needs to be a Final Fantasy with 8 fiends where we have the FF1 and the FF4 fiends.
Maybe in FF8 there might be 8 fiends.
In retrospect, because I know that expanded version of FF1.
I don't get it. Sorry, what? I was thinking about what Carl said. It really got into my head, and I was like, Are there 8 fiends in FF8? I was like, I think I know
the answer
FF8.
is no.
But they're entertaining lies. Sorry, go ahead.
The bonus fiends in FF1 that we fought that were from older
games.
Oh,
that's right.
From newer games, right?
That's right.
Did those have that was like 6 or 7 at that point, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. In the bonus dungeons, the GBA ones.
Remember how none of us played that?
Because that's not canon. Fuck that shit. That never happened.
Yeah. Anyway, that's all the enemies, I guess, in the cave. Is there anything else about the cave? There's another cool mechanic in the cave, I guess, is that like the floors are attached to each other via like ropes.
I do like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you slide up and down.
Just gotta rappel.
Yeah, and like there'll be like some of the ropes look like they descend down to something, and then you'll get on them and slide down and get to the end of it, and Cecil will just do like a little spin and be like, "Nope, that just goes into the abyss," and it'll come right back up. It's very cute.
Yeah, I avoided all the. Because this is a fucking long-ass dungeon, I figured I had to fast-forward my emulator.
Yeah.
So I could just run around, because it's a long walk.
It's true.
There's like the door you're supposed to go to in that one with like all the misleading rooms. The path you're supposed to go to is not even in the top row of rooms.
It's not.
It's like,
Yeah, you can just bypass it all.
You can just follow all the way around down to like the southwest corner.
Every time there was an exit on a south wall, I was just like, thank God.
But yeah, then there's like another like room with just like a lot of misleading paths.
Yeah.
One where the rope actually goes behind the map because it's going through a hole in the top layer.
It's really cool. Yeah.
So you're going on the bottom like, wait, how do I get to that rope? And you have to kind of loop around.
Yep.
But yeah, we end up going through 2 more just rooms with nothing really in them until we find ourselves in.
You know, I really like those last 2 rooms. I know it's like dumb or whatever because there's nothing in them, but like it felt like we had gone from a cave to something like constructed because of like how symmetrical the rooms are, or they become. Like they feel very like a lead up to something. Like when you start seeing symmetrical rooms in a cave, you're like, oh shit, like, we're getting close to something. It's getting fucking creepy in here now.
Even the Octomom.
Yeah.
There was like some symmetrical chambers.
Yeah. So I always like when that happens. It always makes it feel like there's like a ratcheting of tension. But yeah, like you're saying though, eventually we do get to like a little rock bridge with a bunch of like skull torches and sconces, and
They're
that
so
leads
cool.
So cool. And that leads us into a fully built crystal room. So I guess the Dark Imp again he's contracted out another crystal room in some cave.
Knows the same guy, right?
Oh yeah, true. Yeah. Who is this guy building all these crystal rooms deep within caverns
and in the underworld?
Yeah.
I feel like it's probably the Kokol or whatever his name is, right? The blacksmith that we
smithy.
met.
Maybe.
Yeah, he's like, he doesn't, he's got all that fat crystal room making money. So that's why he just sleeps all day. He's like, I don't really need to work anymore. And there's nothing that really makes me want to work because I've already kind of peaked.
God, I wish that were me. Yeah, but we, I think for the first time, we actually go up and just get the crystal and like nothing happens.
Yeah, it's a dark crystal.
Dark crystal, baby. We just nab that
honestly,
shit.
1 out of 8. I feel like we finally earned having nothing exciting happen.
Yeah, I know. We finally got 1. Finally, we did it.
Yeah, and like the cool thing too is that on the floor right before this, there is a save room that's completely free to just find. Like you don't have to go through a demon. So not a bad omen at all. That there's a save point right before we get this crystal. So I got a good feeling about this.
Yeah. Well, I always like in any game that I play. I was playing a game recently. I was playing an RPG that I'd never played before. And I was playing Illusion of Gaia. I got to the end of a dungeon, and then it was like, okay, you need to work your way back. And I hadn't fought a boss, and I was like, no, I know what that means. Like, you get all the way inside a dungeon, and you grab the MacGuffin, and there hasn't been a boss. That means boss on the way back. That's always what it means. Except for an Illusion of Gaia, it didn't. There was no boss on the way back, and I could not believe it. I was like, oh.
And we can only assume that it also happens here.
Yeah, so we take about 2 steps out of the crystal room before shit goes wrong.
Yeah, I think it's exactly 2 steps.
And boys, what's this? Did we just grab Aerith's last weapon or what? Because it's the demon wall back for revenge.
Yep.
Yeah, the cutscene that starts in the 3D version feels like we're being followed by the wall. Because as we're about to cross the bridge, they turn around and like the wall just kind of that we just came out of.
Oh, I haven't seen it. Really?
Inching towards us. Like the walls. It's like there's no in between. It just suddenly like you see a flash and it's like closer and closer. Like
weird.
And Kane says, This cave was designed to protect the crystal. This must be the last line of defense in case someone attempts to escape with it. Then I guess we'll have to smash it, says Edge.
I think...
And, I don't know why we didn't just cross the bridge, because I don't think a wall can cross a bridge. Actually, it looks like they just changed the depth of field. They did like a vertigo effect in the 3D version, because if you look at the floor, the texture doesn't move. Everything just kind of like shifts closer.
Oh, weird. Yeah, you're right.
It's kind of cool. They're doing like the vertigo effect / Jaws thing when they say get out of the water.
The Zolly?
The zoom dolly, yeah.
I was wrong about the thing I was going to say, so just cut all that out.
Well, what were you going to say? It just wouldn't be an episode of our podcast if we didn't say something wrong. I'm pretty sure we probably already did say something wrong, but who knows?
I thought, I don't know why I was thinking this, but I thought when in mine it was somebody else said, let's smash it, but it was Edge, apparently. Anyway. But yeah, we get into a fight with the fucking demon wall.
Yeah.
And then it gets exactly 7,777 HP, and then it hits all of our characters for all 7s, and we all die, and game over. No, that doesn't happen in this game. But yeah, this guy. How do y'all feel about this fight? How'd y'all do?
It's Venom.
It's Venom. His Venom sticking out of the wall.
Tom Hardy's here, everyone.
Tom Hardy himself.
Well, it's Tom Gooey.
Tom Hardy versus Tom Gooey.
I was pretty worried that I was gonna. Or I guess I wasn't that worried because there was just a save point. But yeah, I was definitely expecting a really rough fight here. But I think I might have just gotten lucky and played it well because I didn't really have too much of an issue with this fight.
I kind of did, to be honest.
It seems like it definitely has the potential to be a very difficult fight. This thing seemed like it took a lot of fucking hits to take down.
Yeah, because I was like jumping with Kane, right? And I know that takes a little bit longer, but he does significantly more damage. Attacking with Edge, attacking with Cecil every single turn, and summoning with Rydia every single turn, like doing as much damage as I could. And dude, I barely eked this one out. I mean, like, fucking skin of my teeth. Because this time the demon wall, so he inches closer every single turn, right?
Yeah.
And, like, it's at a pretty good clip. And he attacks every turn as well. And does a decent amount of damage. So you might, like, waste a turn with Rosa healing, right? Not that Rosa's going to be doing that much damage anyway. But he gets up on you. Like, his ATB moves quickly. So you might get like 1 or 2 moves, and then he moves, and then you get 2 more, and then he moves.
Yeah.
I will say, I don't want to say it was disappointing in any way, but as the demon wall moves across the screen, eventually he gets to a point where you can see the back of the demon wall, and I was like, oh, well, he's only like 2 foot, like he's like a couple feet thick. It's like,
I think he's a wall.
I thought it would be more like scary if like it took up the entire screen, but it's fine.
There's a loading bar.
Yeah. He was just a loading bar. That's right.
Oh, that would actually be a really cute loading bar.
Wouldn't it? Oh my god.
What has to load on our website? Is there a way that we can implement that?
We could do like a now waiting for stream on Twitch or whatever.
Yeah.
Like a loading bar.
Yeah. I do. It's really cool. I mean, this is basically just a kind of a race against the wall, right? Because it scooches closer.
I believe in MMO parlance, they call this a DPS check. To make sure that you are high enough level to be able to continue.
I was having a hard time, even with my cheated save.
Yeah.
Like I just barely was able to beat it before it took out my first row of characters.
Yeah, so how does it work on the 3D version, like when it gets so close?
I think it literally does like steamroll. Do you think it uses the move what they call crush?
Yeah.
When it hits the first row and it just takes out your first that row of characters.
Oh, see on the 2D version it just takes out one character at a time. It doesn't do a whole row.
Oh, actually, let me double check.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
I didn't get that far. When it gets close enough, it will start using instant. Maybe it is once at a time.
Okay,
one at a time. Okay.
Yeah, so basically it'll get all the way to the right edge of the screen, and then it'll start using the move Crush every single turn, and it will just one-hit KO whoever that it hits. So you get 5 more turns once it gets to that point. And I just want you all to know that I survived this fight with only Rydia alive. It crushed the other 4. I was like, rules. Oh my god. And then Rydia got a fuckload of experience by herself. Because this game does have it so that experience is divvied up among the party members. So if only one person's alive, they just get all of it from that attack or from that battle.
That's fucking awesome. Holy shit.
So Pog Rydia.
Yeah, it says killing Demon Wall rewards an abnormally high amount of experience points, which can help prepare for the end of the game.
And for only one party member.
Yeah, in the 3 version, he has 5 nines of HP.
Damn, really?
That's some fucking Final Fantasy X shit.
That's crazy.
Yeah, in the 2D version, it says he has 28,000.
Yeah,
that seems more right.
So,
but I was only able to do
guys...
so the DS version's just fucking hard. I get it.
Yeah. I think I might know why I didn't have as much of an issue, aside from the fact that I had 70,000 less HP to deal with. But did either of you guys try using slow?
I didn't think about it until the end. I was like, wait a minute. Haste and slow would have been the things to do here. Because Rose is not really doing that much damage anyway. And so, exactly. She has slow and haste. Like, it would make sense.
Yeah, I think I even had Spider Silk from, one of the other caves. So I was like, fuck it. I'm just throwing that out.
Spider Silk ends up being incredibly useful in this game.
Yeah.
Most of those items you can just throw away. But, Spider Webs or Spider Silk, incredible item. Great.
Yeah, you know what would have been a real galaxy brain strat? You go back to Baron, and you pick up the Porum and Palom statues. Just put them right up against it, and then just slowly go up and fucking punch it.
Just using them as tire blocks.
Yeah,
or just if you don't have a doorstop, so you roll up a shirt and put it under the door so it doesn't move.
My books keep falling over on my bookshelf. I have to put Palom and Porum on both ends of it to hold all of them up.
That actually, I do want that. That's got to be a thing, right?
I think we'd mentioned that when Daycare Dittos were on.
Oh,
yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, and I know Dave has a 3D printer, so I know he should be he should be working on that.
We'll get into cast making and make some marble or some shit.
Yeah.
Foam or acrylic.
Hell yeah.
Yes. It's a spooky fight because, all the demon walls and in the past games are creepy, and they all have their own different look to them.
Yeah.
But even in this one,
I think
were there demon walls in Omega Ruins? They're the ones with the fucking fossils sticking out with the
Yeah. They weren't called demon walls, but that was basically, I think.
Wasn't there a version that was called that or something like that? Because I know that there
might have been.
There were 3 or 4 versions of that in the game.
I'm also wondering,
it could have been one of the Monster Arena bosses.
I thought you were going to say Monster Rancher. I don't know why, but
is that on your RPG list?
It might not be. Might have to add that.
That was a good Tim Allen grunt.
Is this the first appearance?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's the first appearance of the Demon Wall.
Hey, that's cool.
Yeah.
Good job, Demon Wall.
And then I think there's only one more Demon Wall in the series boss.
It's in 4, 7, 12, 14, 15.
Oh, is there one in 15?
And Tactics. It looks like it.
Oh, okay. I haven't fought that one yet.
Or wait, no. Daemon Wall is a daemon fought during the Wall and our Wade hunt. It's a high-level enemy with very high HP. It's not actually a demon wall. It's just called Daemon Wall. It looks like a giant fish.
Okay. Yeah, 12 is the other one.
As always, the Amano art is fucking sick. It looks extremely Venom.
Extremely Tom Hardy.
Venom.
Ooh, that is really good. I like that a lot.
Surprising no one, Amano still don't miss.
Slaying.
He probably read Venom.
So yeah, this boss is kind of tough, but not really. It depends on how you look at it, I guess. Throwing Edge's stuff helps. Throwing shurikens and the Fuma.
Yeah, throw them if you got them.
Throw them if you got them. I actually didn't throw my Fuma. I still have it. But maybe I should have to get more experience on somebody else. So I will, once again, Rydia summoning Leviathan, 4,000 damage. I was just like, let's fucking go.
Hell fucking yeah, dude.
Sorry, looking at the Mobius Final Fantasy one, it looks like a fucking, it's the Cloverfield monster emerging from a marble cube.
God, I wish that were me.
I got so confused because I see that it's also in Triple Triad, and I was like, what the fuck? I don't remember that. But it's Triple Triad from 14.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So it makes more sense.
Yeah.
How about that?
How about it? I like the etymology on the fandom. Etymology. A demon is an evil spirit or devil, especially one thought to possess a person or act as a tormentor in hell. Wall means wall.
Yeah, demon means devil, and wall means wall.
That's for the Instagram.
I'm sorry. Okay.
Square Enix's Oriza Cafe served a dish called Honey Toast of Demon Wall, whose description translated to "That demon wall in honey toast form. Be wary of knockbacks and area attacks. Defeat/consume this enemy, this demon wall, before you run out of ground." Just
That's incredible.
Glazed demon wall.
Dude, I would love to go to like some like Square pop-up cafe, like a fucking like a Final Fantasies cafe.
Yeah, that would fucking rule.
There's a Final Fantasy 14 themed cafe in Tokyo's Akihabara district.
God, I wish.
Akihabara? Hell yeah.
Yeah. Let's go.
Let's podcast from there.
Akihabara.
So, suspiciously, we cannot warp or emergency exit out of this cave, right? So I think that that omen considered, we should save and take a quick break before we try to leave.
Yeah, I'll start building the cottage and we'll have a nice little break.
Sounds good to me.
Leviathan's cold blue noodle.
I would love to just suck down a cold blue noodle right down my mouth hole.
I don't want to repeat the words that I said when we were
Crème
not recording.
Of Shiva, no bake cheesecake. A Shiva cheesecake.
All right.
Big hamburger of Titan.
Listener, by the way, we have discovered some pictures of a Square pop-up cafe in Japan, and we're like reading the menu items and looking at the pictures of the items, and there are some incredibly cute things that they make there.
Yeah,
we got onto this because they make some kind of like demon wall toast.
It's very good. I mean, I don't know if it's good, but it looks good. Sounds good.
I'm sure it's good.
Look at that Moogle.
If it looks good and it sounds good,
girl, look at that Moogle.
Girl, look at that Moogle. I work out. I save items. I save games.
Look at this Moogle tart. So cute.
Ugh, they got some Kingdom Hearts stuff.
It's very cute. Look at the little swords in the beverage. What is that?
Is this a decanter of? It looks like ice cream, or the sword, or what?
Yeah, maybe so. With like a vanilla cookie in the top.
What is this? An alchemist menu? It's like a potion.
Oh, it's a little potion.
Yeah, it's like in a nice little chemistry beaker. That's cute.
Yeah.
Basically, it's just blue lemonade.
Oh, I love that.
Wow, look at all these drinks.
Trying to get fucking ripped shit at the fucking Square Cafe.
So the drink is Knight's Caramel Cafe. So it's like part of the job menu.
Part of the job menu. That's amazing.
God, all this looks fucking good. Yeah, no Slowpoke tails.
No rat's tails, which sucks.
Well, we're gonna start opening donations to buy ourselves tickets to Japan.
One-way ticket to Akihabara.
Yeah. I guess this thing isn't around anymore, right? Or is it?
I would have met. Oh, okay.
Is it
a full-time thing? I don't think they have the Akihabara one anymore, but they do have Tokyo and Osaka. Okay,
I love this review on TripAdvisor. Not worth it unless you like Final Fantasy 14 and you speak Japanese.
Well, you heard it here first.
Welp.
I am not a gamer, nor do I speak Japanese. I hated this place. It's like, okay, dude.
Did not enjoy the Japanese gamer cafe.
I went to Home Depot and I fucking hate lumber. Do not recommend. Yeah, so it looks like, I guess these are pop-ups that maybe the Tokyo and the Shanghai one is currently open, and then there's one in Osaka that might be opening. Hard to say. I don't speak Japanese, nor do I like Final Fantasy 14, so I don't know.
Man, Americans are awful. A lot of them are just saying, like, this is the worst booking ever. Don't bother coming here if you don't speak Japanese, and nobody cares that you don't understand them. It's like,
yeah, I
dude,
wonder how they feel when people in front of them at Gino's Steaks in South Philly are taking a while to order because they have English as a second language. I'm sure they're very understanding of those types.
I'm sure.
God, yeah, Americans suck. to any of our listeners outside of the United States, I'm sorry. On behalf of all of us, I'm sorry.
I like that. It's just the
we are
idea,
all Logan Paul. I'm sorry.
Oh no! Look at the name of this item that I just posted in the Discord.
Helminia Special White Fondue with my.
Hey, wait, hold on. Helminia Special White Fondue hyphen, and then all lowercase with my quotation marks powder.
Hey man, you know what? It's got tax included, and it's only 1,320 yen. Like, it's a pretty good deal.
It actually does look pretty good though.
Yeah, I would suck down that powder.
But they don't speak English there. Oh man, cannot believe it.
Well, I'm sorry. I'm looking at TripAdvisor. Anyway,
oh man, I am making the mistakes of reading the Game Informer comments, which I believe come from Facebook. About what you would expect from a novelty store, vastly vacant and wildly overpriced. Current dollar to yen, some weird conversion thing. $45-ish for a small stuffed animal is too much, IMO. Also, they spelled two wrong. So this fucking person doesn't speak English either. Fuck them.
Okay, I have one more that I want y'all to read. One more item that I think is important. The name of this one.
Experience nut field.
Experience nut.
That looks good too, though. Like,
I mean, don't get me wrong. Here's the thing, right? And I've never been there. Maybe it does suck. I have no idea.
Curtis, could you look a little closer at this picture and sing the song at the bottom?
Yes, I can. Would you like me to sing the song at the bottom? I would like you to sing the
song in the bottom of this.
All right. Hold on. Let me get some accompanying music.
That's jazz, baby.
There we go. I'm going to sing a little song that's literally the lyrics for the song. If you want to hear this song, or if you want to read the lyrics to it, go to the Square Enix Cafe page in the menu and look at the item Experienced Nut Field Salad, okay? And you too can have an experienced nut. And you can sing along, right? There's the chords for the FF9 Chocobo song, which is what I will use as the backing chords for this. God, I'm reading it right now. Okay, I'm sorry. In spring, even if you eat nuts. In winter, even if you eat nuts, never get tired. Delicious. Experience, value, nuts.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I smashed it into a table.
So yeah.
Experience, value, nuts.
Experience, value, nuts.
That is good
love.
wisdom for all of us. Oh no, I ran over my PS4 controller in my chair.
Oh no.
Oh, that's fine. Okay.
Experience.
Anyway, the fuck were we talking about?
Nuts. We're in the sealed cave.
I feel like we should just pivot. We should just pivot to a fucking like cafe review podcast.
I know, right?
I'm having a good time with this.
I really want to get the.
Let's go.
Okay, what I need to do is I need to get the robot voice from that one track on OK Computer, Fitter, Happier, Stronger, and just do the in spring, even if you eat nuts.
Nuts.
In winter, even if you eat
nuts.
A Moomba in a cage on antibiotics.
Experience, value, nuts. Although, if you go all the way down, past all the special dessert items, the first item under the section hood is literally just French fries with 2 dips. And it looks good.
Hot dog.
Hot dog. Like nothing crazy about it. Just, that's French fries with 2 dips right there. That looks good as hell.
A gentleman's dip.
Ooh, you can get a cork highball. We can go get wasted at the Square Enix Cafe. We can get smashed.
Eat some experienced nuts and drink some highballs.
That's right.
I want a good recipe for a highball. I feel like I can never I've never been to Japan, so I've never had like a true highball, but
yeah.
So we are in the sealed cave.
All right, so we're in the sealed cave. And like we said, we suspiciously cannot warp out of here. We can't just leave, right?
Yeah.
We can't make like a tree and get out.
It is a good thing that we were able to get our new party member for this boss battle because he was super effective against it. Our friend Kyle, who was very good at punching walls after you give him the buff of the monster energy drink.
I got it. Okay.
Unfortunately, the damage sustained killed him, so now we're just back to only 5 party members.
I get it. It took me a minute, but I get it now. Anyway.
I did forget to mention that after we beat Demon Wall, Edge says, "Heh. And don't try possessing any other walls either."
Shut up, Edge.
I like that. I like how they read the etymology thing to know that a demon is in fact something that usually possesses something, and they sprinkle that in.
And what's a wall?
Because in my version, he just kind of said nothing to it.
Yeah. Well, the follow-up version of Demon Wall is Demon Drywall, and that's the one that Kyle really can punch through.
Super effective one-shot kill.
Yeah. So yeah, we walk all the way back out. It's just the same thing again. The encounter right here is not too bad, so you just run out. And then when we get to the room that we originally had to enter with the key that we had to hold aloft, we once again get that wonderful disembodied voice of Golbez speaking directly to us.
I can't remember. Did we mention what exactly the key was?
It was a necklace.
Yeah, it's her necklace.
The necklace.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
But yeah, we get out. We hear the disembodied voice of Golbez, and once again he's like, "Oh, you found the crystal for me." And we're like, "No, no, it's not yours this time. We did it. We got it." And he says, he meant for us to go in there. He's been waiting for us to get it. He played us all like fools, whatever. And then he says, "Cain, bring me the crystal." And everybody's like, "Oh, wait, what?" Like, what's going on now? And Cain's like, No, it's fine. I'm not under his control anymore. And then as soon as Cain says that, he like punches Edge and then steals the crystal and runs away.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, Cain, you son of a bitch." Which I love this, by the way. I was like, I can't think of another video game that had like an epic betrayal and then a reconciliation. And then that same character betrays you again.
So
I was like, ugh.
So how does
Shakespeare, I love it.
How does this play out for you guys? Did you how did you interpret this? That he was the entire time under control of Golbez, or now that Golbez is here, he can control him again?
Or was he always on the side of Golbez willingly?
That's what I'm wondering. Because I took it as the spell was kind of broken and he was like a true homie again, but he's so like his will is not strong enough. So now that Golbez is here again, he's like, I'm not under his control anymore. And then Golbez is like, snap, yes you are, motherfucker.
That's kind of how I took it this time. Like, I think that the way I kind of read Cain in general is that, like, he's very under... His emotions control him, you know what I mean? Like, and that's just kind of the way he is, and that makes him very manipulatable. And so, like, I believe that... I think that he probably wasn't under Golbez's control or whatever at this point. And then, like you said, yeah, Golbez is just like, no, your mind's not strong enough. I can still control you.
Yeah.
I think it would be much more impactful if it was that he just has been willingly like, no, I don't need to be under control of him. I'm actually an asshole.
Yeah, it could be, yeah.
Which the new Star Wars series Bad Batch kind of delved into a little bit, because like every clone has an inhibitor chip, and like they basically crank up the evil on one of like on one of their former friends, and then by the end of the season, like, it's not you, man. It's the chip. And like, no, I've had mine out for a long time.
No!
I was like, no!
Damn, spoilers for
just
fucking Star
evil.
Wars.
Yeah, I do like the way that
rules.
it's written in this script that I'm reviewing here, where it just says, it's like, Cain, I'm all right. I'm no longer under his control. And then under it, like not even in the text, it's just like what's happening. Cain is now controlled by Golbez.
I'm not under his control. Cain is controlled by Golbez.
It's the same thing as like, I have to go, my home planet needs me. Poochie died on the way home to his home planet.
Just Ron Howard voice, like, don't worry, I'm not under control of Golbez. He was.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, he takes the crystal, and the party is obviously dismayed, but they leave, and we have to go back to the dwarven castle and explain to the king again what happened. It's like the third time we've had to go to the king and be like, So
So
I know our resume said we would do a great job.
he let us defend their crystal. Remember, like when we first got there, he's like, "Yeah, you defend my crystal from Golbez," and we're like, "Oh, King, I'm really sorry. Golbez got the dwarven crystal," and then we like go to get them all back from the Tower of Babel, and we're like, "Oh, King, I'm sorry, we weren't able to get any of them. Sorry about all the casualties of your army." And now we're like coming back after the sealed cave and like, oopsie poopsie.
Yeah, I feel like if Final Fantasy IV, if this story was made today, I feel like the big twist at the very end of it would be like Cecil was a part of the party that you're fighting the entire time.
Yeah.
See Bessel?
I said Cecil.
Oh.
Maybe
Bessel now, though.
I mean, that's what I named him in most of my games. I'm pretty sure. I should play it back. Did I say Cecil or Bessel? No, but like Cecil has been a part of like the opposition that we've been trying to fight the whole time, because it's like, and then you're like, oh, all the choices that I made and I thought I was getting tricked. Like it's like the meta gaming thing that's been
Right.
like really cool in games for like a decade now.
Right. No, it just turns out he's incredibly incompetent.
Yeah, he's just a himbo. He's just a
himbo.
an honest to goodness himbo.
Yeah, he had just dumped everything to charisma and nothing else.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure, go for it, kid. And like,
Yeah, they're like, yeah, you can defend the crystal. It's fine. Seems like a nice guy.
so I feel playing like any Fallout game. It was like, there's no way you should like rely on me for anything, dudes.
Imagine being able to fail this much and still like be counted on by people.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and so all the
And
kingdoms
still
of the world
like
are like,
looked
this guy
upon
seems
fondly.
yeah.
Well, he is white.
I guess
That's
like
true.
the thing is, nice. I guess the thing is that like Cecil is good at some things, right? Like if you want your crystals defended, absolutely not. If you need a fiend murdered, then yes.
Yeah,
Like,
we have
Cecil
killed
can
the
handle
shit out of a lot of fiends.
Yeah. He's like a himbo. He's incredibly strong. He's like he can absolutely fuck shit up. He's just he cannot bring back a crystal to save his life.
Yeah. So yeah, I do like the first interaction with the king and Cecil,
Yeah.
where it's literally just like, rally ho, show me the crystal, and then he's just like, actually, like, yeah, about that, king.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the king's so chill about it. He's like, they have all the crystals? Oh, nothing we can do about it now, unless the lunar whale legend comes true.
The lunar whale. This is the first time we've heard about it, right?
Yeah.
Oh
Space
my
whale.
goodness. So yeah, he basically like, and like we said, the whole thing about the crystals, right, is that Golbez wants to open the way to the moon because there's allegedly some kind of like superpower on the moon. But yeah, the king is like, yeah, unless the legends of the lunar whale are true, and then he quotes a legend, right? Like he says it, and Cecil recognizes it as the Mysidian legend that they said earlier in the game. Because like when we were at Mysidia, they actually quote it to us, and he was like, "That's the same story that the Mysidians told."
Yeah.
And the king is surprised because he knows that name. He's like, "Mysidia is a real place in your world? Holy crap! Like that's our legend too, and we know that name. We know what Mysidia is. You should go there next and see what to do." He says they're probably praying for the lunar whale. That's probably what they're doing. And so that's our next destination.
Which, if we remember, when we left off in Mysidia, there was that little like prayer hallway or whatever, like the prayer tower where the elder and like his aides were like both praying and stuff. So now we're like,
Indeed.
Oh yeah.
And so, but our party's like, well, that's all well and good, but we can't get to the surface anymore. Like Sid's bomb blew up the hole, and we can't climb the Tower of Babel, so like, there's no way to get back. And then Sid pops in again because Sid's a fucking awesome homie, and he's like, yeah, no problem. I can put a fucking nasty ass sick drill on the front of the fucking ship and just drill your way up there.
It doesn't seem safe.
Yeah, it doesn't seem safe. Yeah, you'd have to like point the airship directly upwards, which I don't know that it would fly at that point.
Yeah, this seems like reverse Minecraft rules, where it's like never dig directly down. But I guess that's also a Minecraft rule, never dig directly up, because then you can just suffocate on gravel.
Yeah. Gravel or the ocean could come pouring in.
Yeah, or sand.
Yeah.
Just like real life.
Just like real life.
But yeah, we get a little cutscene once again where It shows Cecil and the dwarves working on the airship, and it's very cute. Edge is already on the airship, like working on it as well. And at some point, he like when Sid's not looking, he walks off of the airship, and then he just has like a chat with Rydia for a while, which I thought was very cute.
So,
and I was like, it's good how they're building that up. And then eventually Sid notices and comes and like drags Edge away, and he like clearly doesn't want to go. He's like, no.
Back to work, Sonny.
Yeah, and they actually fight each other. They like have a little cartoonish battle, and then like Sid like throws him on the ground and like makes him get back to work.
This is a classic AC Slater / Mr. Belding moment where AC Slater's trying to chat up some girl, and he's calling her mommy, which is kind of weird. Way before his time. And then Mr. Belding comes in and he says, hey, Mrs. B wouldn't like that, and drags him back.
But then at the end of the cutscene, though, there's a moment where like there's a slight pause and Sid falls over and everybody's like, oh shit. And the music like changes and everybody's really worried and runs up to him. The screen fades out and wakes back up. Or we go to the next screen, and Sid has worked himself to exhaustion, right? Like he is overexhausted himself. He's injured once again. And he tells us like, that's about all I'm going to be able to do. Like he's royally wrecked his body at this point, worked too hard. He's out for good.
God, I wonder what that's like.
But still alive. He's still alive, at least. But he tells the party, he's like, okay, I can't do anything else. It's in your hands now, but the drill is on there. So get back up there, go save the world, and I'll see you guys when you're done. And that's kind of the end of Sid's story here, right?
Yeah.
So much for... I was really excited that we were going to have him back in our party.
Yeah.
Well, if it makes you feel any better... I feel like we're now able to revisit an old friend who I thought we would be able to get back in our party.
Oh yeah.
You want to do that? Let's do that.
I think B mentioned last time, or maybe it was Curtis, that the sooner you can do portion of it, you should, just because there is a way to miss it. So basically, we left off.
Remember the Sylph Cave?
Yeah, in the Sylph Cave, we found Yang, and he's just asleep, and we can't wake him up. So now we can go back to Yang's hometown, right? Fabul, and talk to his wife, and kind of explain the situation to her.
And I love what she says too. So yeah, we go back up to the surface world, go to Fabul, and I love that when you talk to her, she's like, "Oh yeah, where's Yang?" And like they're like, "Oh well," and they kind of explain like what's going on, and she's like, "Oh, he hasn't woken up yet? That's fine. Just go smack him in the head with this, and he'll wake right up." And she gives you a frying pan, and I love that. Love that dynamic.
Yeah. So then...
Yang and Sheila, me and who?
Yeah, so then you can get the frying pan, go back through the Sylph Cave, go back to where Yang is, bop him on the head, which I love that just implies that he's like a heavy sleeper and she's dealt with it so much that this is just her way of waking him up. Yeah. He's like sleeping in.
It's like the opposite of Sid, where in which he's a chronic rester instead of a chronic worker.
But yeah, so unfortunately... to my dismay, Yang does not rejoin the party. I think he's still too out of it to be able to.
Yeah.
And there is some dialogue here which I don't have listed anywhere. But
oh, by the way, Carl, you said the other day about possibly equipping Edge with claws. You can do that.
Yeah.
It does work.
Which is interesting. I think it's not really worth it unless you want the status effects, just because his swords are always going to be better.
It could be worth it for the very next thing I want to talk about after this, but it still wasn't for me. So we'll see.
So yeah, she gives Cecil the frying pan, and you can see what happens from there.
Exactly.
Right?
So yeah, after we get that, we head back to Yang. Says when Cecil gets down there, he smacks Yang with the frying pan, and then Yang says, "Is it time for training? Allow me to sleep a little more." Cecil.
I will say, before you, I'm sorry, I apologize.
No, go ahead.
In the version that I'm playing, at very least, I like that the very first bit of dialogue when you choose to use the frying pan is actually from one of the sylphs, and they're like, "No, you can't do that."
The forbidden magic.
I like that you're just like getting ready to just smack the shit out of him with a frying pan. They're like, "Oh my god, what is wrong with you?"
I love the contrast of like we're in this like deep like mystical cave of like full of fairies and shit, and we just like. We gotta wake him up somehow.
Okay.
I wonder if this will work on White's mom.
But Yang says, "Is it time for training? Allow me to sleep a little more," which can definitely relate to that anytime my alarm goes off. Cecil's like, "Yang," and Rydia is saying how glad she is. Yang explains that the sylph saved his life, and Rosa said, "Just as you saved us by destroying the cannons." He says, "I shall join you once again." And I'm like, fuck yeah, Yang's back. That's why we got his claws in this other room kind of thing. And then the sylph just says, "You must rest." And he said, "I cannot rest while you risk your lives." And then Edge is like, "Take it easy," and introduces himself because Yang's like, "Oh, and who the fuck are you?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm Edge of Eblin. Don't worry, I can cover for you." And Yang's like, "Eblin, so you are a ninja, but I must." And the sylphs say, "No, we'll fight in your place instead." And Yang's like, "Wait, what?" And the sylphs go on and say, "She's a summoner, correct? Please call upon us at any time." And Rydia thanks them, and Yang says that he is most grateful, and we get the sylphs as a summon for Rydia.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
That is the reward.
Is like one of them, or like kind of like...
I have not used it in battle yet.
I did not use it either. I will use it, though, and I will find out for next time. Or we find out now, either way.
Oh no, I'm sure we'll use it at some point.
I could load up the game and do it live.
It looks like it summons like 4 of them, or three of them.
Nice.
That's sweet.
Yeah, for this I figured it's probably like an elemental attack or like a boost of some kind.
Sylph in some of them is healing sometimes, and then sometimes it's like a drain attack that they do in different Final Fantasies. I don't know what it is in this one.
Yeah, I guess we'll find out.
Oh
yeah, the Sylph art is quite good too from Amano, as always.
Oh yeah, it's really
That's very good, yeah. Did you guys do any other summon hunting?
Oh, I did not.
Out of curiosity. So I decided to go back to Baron to talk to Ghost King again.
Oh,
remember
right.
He was like, "Hey, come visit me after
do the
Fey
March shit." Yeah.
Right. And so the king is apparently Odin. Like, I guess always was.
Oh, wow.
What? Oh.
Yeah. And
so does that make us like a Loki or some shit?
I guess so.
We're adopted.
When we go up to him as well, he's like, "Yeah, Cognazzo killed me, but that's okay because I'm more help to you like this than I was alive." And I was like, "Oh, that's kind of brutal." Like, he just like tells us that like, "Yeah, Cognazzo murdered me." I'm like, "Whoa, all right." But I could not beat him at all.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Basically, Odin will take one turn to raise his sword above his head, and the next turn he will use Zanasuken and kill everybody on the screen.
Makes sense.
So he is
Classic.
the Yojimbo of this game.
Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty classic thing. In Final Fantasy VII, when we had Odin, it was the same thing, right?
Yeah.
I think, is this the first instance of Odin in a Final Fantasy game?
There was summoners in 3, but I don't remember if
I think, looks like Odin might be in Final Fantasy 3 as well.
Okay. But yeah,
Odin's also the dog in Garfield, right?
That's
exactly.
right, yeah.
I can't wait till we get the Nermal summon.
But if you remember in the Fey March, there was actually one of the Eidolons down there was like, yeah, the king summoned Odin is on the surface world somewhere, and he hates lightning. Like, somebody down there said that they were like, "Oh, with lightning, you do damage." So Thundara, not even Thundaga, but Thundara will do 4,000 damage to him. So I was like, dude, if I had Thundaga, it would be like quad 9 damage. It'd be incredible. And I looked up how much HP he has. And the thing is, I think that I have to have Thundaga to do this because I just cannot put that much damage out. I can use Blitz with Edge. I can like throw thunder items and do a lot of damage. I can do like 20,000 damage before he does his attack, but it's still not enough. So I was like, I bet if I had Thundaga. So maybe after Rydia learns that, I'll come back and try it again. But I couldn't do it for now.
I don't think it was an Eidolon in the Fey March that said it in my game. It was actually in the library.
Okay.
Where you
that may have been where, yeah.
You read all the different bookshelves, and it says like the only time that Odin has ever been defeated was when his great sword was in the air and struck by lightning.
Yeah, I think you're right.
So that makes sense. That's really cool.
But I couldn't get it. But I was thinking though that I could like equip Edge with those thunder claws though, maybe.
Yeah,
and
that's
do
a good
like
point.
Big damage that way.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think if there's any other loose ends that we have. We can also now go, since we've already made the return trip to the surface to get the, what's it called? The frying pan, we can do the same to go to the spot. I think it was I forget what town it's in, where they have the adamantite.
I can't remember the name of that town, but you're right. Yeah. I was wondering if you were going to say that next.
So there was, I think it was like the mini town. It might be Mithril.
It may be Mithril.
I'll do a fact check on that in a minute, but you go to the town where they have the adamantite, and there's the person who's like, oh, I'm only going to give this away if I have a rat tail. We already got the rat tail, so you trade that in with him, get the ore, and then you can bring it back to the blacksmith's forge and give him the legendary blade that we got from Mysidia and the ore, and he'll forge our sword for us.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, we can do that now.
But we can't get the sword now. So he's like, this is going to take some time. Go and, do something else for a while.
Yeah, right, yeah. But yeah, soon we'll be able to get that.
So put it in the oven.
Put it in the oven. And that's all the side questy things I know that we can do for now.
Yeah, I got confused. We should mention that to get to the surface, we go back to that crater in the upper east moat, and you literally just pop up and just drill a hole the size of that we blew in last time. We just instead of filling a hole in, we just like drill through another hole.
Hell yeah.
That the magma stone caused, so we could have just drilled down if we really wanted to.
Also, the world is now just littered with our fucking trash. I was noticing because like
2 airships.
We have 2 airships. We have a fucking hovercraft.
You can have a black chocobo out. You can have all kinds of shit out on the world map.
But I was about to say I got Mist confused for Mysidia briefly.
Okay.
So I went back to Mist, which they've kind of bounced back pretty okay.
Yeah. There's people there.
But I went to a little house on the upper corner, just near where we met Rydia for the first time. And that's where I got the plus 50% MP augment.
Ooh.
Which I think probably makes everything like maybe cost half as much or earn I forget how it works.
It sounds like it might just increase your MP, yeah?
Oh yeah, that might make more sense. But there's nothing upstairs, like just like two beds there. But if you go through the fireplace, there is actually 2 secret rooms in the dark. It actually takes a while to find them because on the DS screen at least, like it's hard to tell if you're moving because it's just black. But I found a gold hairpin, just clothing, a polymorph rod, and a ruby ring.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think all of that stuff is kind of old equipment at this point. Like we were able to get all that pretty early on in the game, I think.
Does the gold hairpin do anything in this game? Because that is a item that does things in other Final Fantasies. Like it's kind of a special item. But I don't know if this early in the series, if it actually had special properties.
I know that we were able to...
Gold hairpin grants 11 defense, minus 2% evasion, 11% magic defense. It also boosts agility and gives resistance to lightning damage.
Okay. I think starting in 5 or 6, the gold hairpin halves MP use.
Oh, that's sick.
But not in this one, apparently, so...
Yeah.
All good.
But yeah, there's not much here. I think we could have come here much earlier and it would have made more sense, but I just like... forgot about Mist.
Yeah. I mean, we assumed it was just a smoldering crater because of the last time we were there.
Did I do that?
So I did miss.
Did Sephiroth do this?
Did Sephiroth do this?
I did misspeak. It's not in one of the towns that I said earlier. There's actually a specific grotto. It's like its own island, which might require like some hovercraft shenanigans
to it.
Yeah, so you got to pick up, with the hook and all that. But it's just the Adamant Isle Grotto, and there's pretty much the only thing to do here is really get that fetch quest going in like the earlier versions of the game. But apparently in the 3D versions, you can get some additional stuff as well. So there's different tail items that can be dropped from different dragons. So each color, it looks like there's 5 colors of dragon in this game: red, green, blue, black, and yellow.
A new one just came out. Tales of Arise.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice. Okay, sorry.
Well done.
Thank you.
But yeah, it's a rare drop from dragon enemies, so you can kind of go around farming dragons if you want, and you can get some interesting armor and equipment if you trade it all in. the red tail you can trade for an onion sword, green tail for an onion helm, blue tail for an onion shield, black tail for an onion armor, and yellow would be onion gauntlets. So you can be the Onion Knight.
I was going to say you can become Siegmeyer of Katarina.
Hell yeah. Still closed. Still closed.
Still closed.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I think there's another thing you can get as well with an even more rare item, the pink tail.
Yeah, that one's in the original 4, I believe.
Slowpoke tail.
Yeah. So
Slowpoke tail, exactly.
Yeah, so that is in the in this one as well, in the one that I'm playing. So keep an eye out for the pink tail. Apparently that's a super rare drop.
Yeah, it is. That gives you the adamant armor, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
If you follow that through, yeah.
Yeah. So yet another side quest.
So that's also a good indication of where we are in the game at this point, I think. That like we're at the point where we're going to start accruing the best equipment in the game. So we're at that point now.
Hell fucking yes.
So not too much more FF4 to go.
Yeah, kind of bittersweet.
I know. It's a short one, isn't it? Like it's like not super long Final Fantasy.
We've kind of taken our time with it, but this game does go by in like a clip. It's just like plot point after plot point after plot point. It's just
it's all bangers.
Yeah. It
is. Like there's not a dungeon that doesn't have some plot in it. You know what I mean? Like they all just kind of like advance the story in some way.
Yeah.
I like it.
Hell yeah.
I think that's where we're gonna leave it today, right? Go park the car outside of Mysidia, and we'll enter it next time and learn more about this lunar whale, or as they call it in the original FF2 translation, the big whale. But both correct in their naming conventions.
Yeah, the existence of a big whale implies the existence of a small whale.
Well, yeah.
I can't wait. So neither of you have seen the big whale. Okay. When here's the one thing I want y'all to do. And if you, the listener, are playing along with us and you want to play the next area, when you get the lunar whale, go to the bottom of the lunar whale and then tell me what you see and tell me if it's not amazing. Because there's something very special on the lunar whale, and I think you'll all enjoy it. It's in the bottom.
Bottom of the whale.
Bottom of the whale. Go to the bottom of the whale. There's one of my favorite things.
Johnny's stuck at the bottom of the whale.
And I wonder how this thing got there, and I don't know. I love it. Anyway, so the next episode, let's find out what we're doing for the next episode. Let me open my episode guide.
Episode guide.
We are talking about the moon.
Are we?
We are.
We are on the cosmic highway to the moon. Dad said at this point we'll get there half past June. I don't think anyone's going to get that reference. Maybe like one of my friends. It was a very good Les Claypool song.
When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's amore.
That's a big whale.
That's a lunar whale. Do. So, do you guys have anything else to say about this section?
No, not really. It was not much in ways of gameplay, but a lot happened.
Right,
super fun. I'm excited to see what happens next because we're closing in on the end game. But yeah, I really love this game. I feel like every week
it's really good. Right?
When I play through it, anytime there's any story beats, or even if not, like it's just fun to play. But anytime there's like a major story beat, I'm just like, game good. Game
good.
Good.
Do y'all have anything coming up? Anything to announce?
Same thing that I've been announcing, just the Speed Souls charity marathon, which I think I've been misspeaking the past couple of times. I think it's actually starting on Thursday, November 4th, and going till Sunday the 7th. My run of Demon Souls OG to kick off the All Souls relay race is going to be on November 7th at around 10 a.m.
When is the 7th?
It is a Sunday.
I will have that day off and be on day shift, so I will be able to catch that.
Yo, hell yeah. Yeah, it's going to be fun. And then it should be a really good time. I've been forcing myself to finish Demon Souls runs, which has been interesting. It's a game that you don't want to have to not be able to reset on, but it's getting my consistency up, and I feel like I'm pretty confident in my gameplay now. So we'll see how I do. Maybe I'll just fucking choke and it'll be terrible.
When you get on elevators in real life, do you feel obligated to eat a bunch of grass right before you get to the top?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, the one big elevator at the end of the game, I discovered a new thing in one of my most recent runs where it takes like 20 or 30 seconds to go up. It's like a climactic moment in Demon Souls because you're going up to the hardest boss. And I've started taking off like the shield and the bow and all of that, so I'm just like the only thing I have is the axe. But I realized that if you try and like use the shield, you just kind of punch with your left hand. So I've just been going up to the wall and fucking punching it until all my stamina runs out, and it's very funny to me. So
sounds like this game.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just punching the demon wall. But I'll also be hosting at some points throughout the weekend, so it's for a really good cause. It's going to be a really good time. A lot of really kick-ass speedruns are going to be happening. They're not only Soul series games or anything like that. It's a lot of other games. You can definitely check out the schedule and see if there's anything that tickles your fancy, but it's always a good time. So
my fancy is always getting tickled.
Hell yes.
So
I should be so lucky.
My fancy is very ticklish.
Yeah, I think that's all I got coming up.
I have nothing to announce. Nothing.
Being
born. Wait, no, wait.
Nothing at all.
Yes, I do. What the hell am I talking about? I do have something to announce.
I was like, it doesn't sound right.
I guess I announced it last time as well, but it's now up pretty much everywhere that you can go listen to it, with the exception of Apple Podcasts, because they're very slow to...
That's the one I use, damn it.
Damn it. But soon as well, the VG podcast will be available, or the VG draft.
The VG draft, yeah.
Will be available on Apple as well, so you can go listen to the other show that I'm doing now, which I think is going to be like bi-weekly, tri-weekly, something like that. Not as often. This is still my main baby. This is still my sweet child. So. But yeah, so go listen to that. Vote on who had the best game lineup. It was me, by the way. You should vote for me. Which right now, to give you a idea of how the Twitter poll is looking, there's like 100 votes, and I am well in last place. There would need to be like another 100 people vote on that poll, and all for me to win this one.
Goddamn, imagine voting for Mutsky over Twirlin Curtis.
I know.
Especially without even having listened to the episode.
What kind of sick twisted
What kind of sick
would?
Monster would vote Mutt over Curtis?
I think my choice of Tiger Woods PGA 2001 is not doing me any favors on that.
Well, let's see. I don't know if you guys went into this.
I picked that in a year that Tony Hawk 2 came out. So
Tiger Woods scandal.
that will also help my
Tiger Woods. When was the scandal?
It was about a week ago when I picked this game.
2009 was his scandal. So that's what you were 8 years ahead of the curve. So you're fine. He was still good then. I mean, he was doing all the fucked up shit that he was doing, but it was before it was a scandal. So I think you're in the clear.
Alex, got anything for us?
No.
Sick.
Yeah, maybe by next episode I'll have more information about my band's new record.
And yes.
Hell yeah, can't wait.
We're getting mixes and masters before you know it.
Getting those mixes mixed and the masters mastered.
Yes.
Well, in that case,
all the finishing touches.
Would you like to, in a horrendous Cronenberg-like way, attach a flesh drill to us so that we may bury through a wall and or I guess a ceiling? I don't know. The whole physics of that still perplex me. I have no idea how that airship drill worked. Anyway, the point is, would you like to read the credits?
Would you like to experience value nuts? Experience value pods.
Yes. I'm going to get us on top of this thing. Drilling through the surface. Thank you, as always, to Night of the Round for the theme music. Thank you to Nobuo Uematsu, Junya Nakano, and Kenichiro Fukui for the game music. Keep up the mustache, Nakano.
You too, Nobuo.
Nobuo Umachino, whatever it was.
Yeah, that's right. Nobuo Umachino.
That's still very funny. Leave us a review on iTunes, why don't you? It helps with the, whatever the analytics and the metrics. Number go up.
We need number go up.
We need fucking, what do we call this? We call this our RPS fucking reviews per second.
We need that sweet number go up so that we can increase the amount of money that we make on this podcast from 0 to 0.
From negatives whatever to hopefully 0.
To less negative.
You need to throw as many reviews as you can at iTunes before it crushes us all. Give us a call at 530-MATERIA. That is 530-628-3742. And you can find us at every FNFF on Twitter, Instagram, now YouTube, and join our Discord, why don't you? And don't worry, the podcast doesn't control me anymore.
Bye.